Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my video on all the things that I brought on my trip with me. So I spent 10 days motorcycling around Iceland. I also spent 2 days either side of that just hanging around Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland, and just enjoying my days off there. But I want to show you what I brought on my trip with me. T-shirts, okay? I wore this on the plane, and then I brought 4 additional t-shirts with me. In my opinion, the right amount to bring. I also brought 6 pairs of socks. I brought 6 because I think, well, socks, they're tiny, and obviously you can fit a lot more in, and you go through socks a little bit faster, I think, than most other things. 4 pairs of underwear. That's right, 4 pairs. At the end of the day, you're trying to keep everything to a minimum on this trip, especially on a motorcycle trip. And you are not there for fashion. It doesn't matter if you're stinky, a lot more stinky than you would be on your normal day-to-day trips, because on a motorcycle trip around Iceland, well, for me at least, it wasn't about the fashion. Brought 2 tops. This one is more of a dressier top, and then this one is something I can put under my motorbike jacket. To be honest with you, I would not bring 2 again. I would just bring one really warm one like this one here, or something similar, and just use that for the entire trip. Might, as an extra, if I have room, bring a shirt, something similar to this as well. It actually got quite warm on a couple of the days I was there in Reykjavik, and I was even in t-shirts, so there you go. Now, a towel. This is what I brought. It's a beach towel, really thin, but yet absorbing. Loved it, glad I brought it. I do normally bring these kind of towels with me. These are travel towels, extremely thin. Probably overkill though, to be honest with you, and I think it was worth the slight bit of extra weight and size to bring the other towel rather than bringing this one. Now obviously I had to bring motorcycle gear, so we were renting bikes and I brought this. I also brought my jacket, of course, high-vis jacket as well, just for visibility, no harm. Brought some jeans with me. Again, probably a luxury item there. I could have just used these North Face tracking bottoms for literally everything, but I decided to bring that as a luxury item. Obviously a belt as well for the jeans, and what I really like about these is these zip off here and become shorts. So if you want to really go the ultra light way, you could have just brought these with you. But I decided to bring these as well for any parts we might be in, hot pools, or namely the Blue Lagoon, or things like that. Obviously we're going to need bedding, so I brought this with me. Did a fantastic job, Fango, but maybe slightly big, but I don't think there's really anything you can do about these. I've seen a lot of options and they're all pretty big, but that one's not too bad. Brought a jacket as well, rain jacket, it just folds up nice and neat like that. It's a North Face jacket. Brought sleeping bag as well. Now this is a really small sleeping bag. It's got an extreme rating of -1 and a comfort rating of +8 degrees Celsius right up to 23 degrees Celsius. Now to be honest, this was too cold for Iceland. So I would recommend that if you are bringing something this small, you bring something else, like another blanket to keep you warm at night, or just bring a higher rated sleeping bag. Definitely not a +8 comfort rating sleeping bag. But it was cool weight though, I will say that much. In the middle of the night I ended up putting on my jacket. Other extra things that I brought. Obviously needed a lighter for the stove. Bought gas out there, and we also had a tiny little stove burner as well, which you can get for about €20 on Amazon. This thing here, a little canister, fantastic. This was 750 milliliters and big enough to cook for 2 people. We also had 2 other cups as well, which Kieran, stainless steel cups, which Kieran brought him. I brought a spork, absolutely necessary. This was sort of a luxury item. Yep, deodorant. But I felt I wanted to bring it. This, again, slight luxury item. These are 2 chargers. This is what I could have gotten away with if I wanted to. But what I ended up bringing was this guy. This charges 2 USBs and a mains as well. The only reason I brought that was because I was bringing this guy. And this plugs straight into the mains on there, and that charges my camera's batteries without having to charge directly through the camera itself. Brought a Swiss Army knife, definitely needed. Bungee cords, needed those as well. Wet wipes, needed in every single motorcycle trip ever. Definitely bring those. Super glue, didn't need it, could come in handy. Definitely bring duct tape as well. We brought some clear duct tape. It was absolutely useless, so just go with the original stuff. These are mounts for the action camera. We'll definitely need a few of those. Shampoo. Just bring travel size. That was enough for us, or well, for myself anyway. Kieran brought his own. Of course, you're going to need toothpaste and toothbrush, hand sanitizer, but didn't have to bring this. I ended up using the hand wipes, the face wipes, baby wipes for everything. Sunscreen, definitely bring sunscreen. You think you're not going to need it in Iceland, but I ended up getting burnt on my face and I ended up going through most of that, so definitely bring that. Imodium, paracetamol, and some plasters. Some rubber bands in this bag to hold everything in, and the last thing I brought was a bivy bag. Now, not completely necessarily, I didn't even need this on the trip, to be honest with you. The only reason I brought it was just in case we came across a campsite and that campsite was full of stones in the ground, so that's why I brought that. I want to show you that I got this as well, and this was a 90 litre North Face duffel bag. With my helmet in here, along with all my other gear, this was not enough. So I ended up having to wear my motorcycle jacket on the plane. This is personal taste, but I was going to be doing a video documentary on my motorcycle trip, so I wanted to bring some extra things than I normally bring. Ended up bringing a microphone in case we did any interviews. We did 2 interviews, but I never used it because it would have taken too long to set it up and we just didn't have the time. In fact, that's something I found throughout Iceland, is you just, when you're doing a motorcycle trip, you don't want to be spending all your time doing a video documentary. Or especially if that other person you're going with is not as into it as you are. So you got to be conscious of that. So you, yeah, certain things like this sort of get left behind. I did use it once, and that was for a waterfall and to record the sound of it when I didn't want my camera getting wet. I brought some extra cords, of course, to charge my action camera and to also charge my portable camera and my pocket camera as well. Obviously I had a charger for the iPhone as well. I did end up doing quite a lot of charging and shooting with the iPhone. This is a little 12 volt USB charger. I brought the Sony a6000, I brought a 10 to 18 lens, I brought an 18 to 105 lens, I brought a 35mm lens as well. Hardly ever used the 35, used the 18 to 105 quite a bit, and probably the most used was the 10 to 18, just because of doing self vlogs or trying to get wide landscapes and things like that. Just found it very useful. Also, yeah, this was the microphone that I tried to use for most of the trip, but again, it sort of takes a bit of time to set up, so wasn't always used. But it is a very good microphone, and this wind protection works extremely well. But I would always try and advise people, even if it's just an iPhone, try and cover up your microphone with some sort of wind protection. And you can get little things that stick onto your microphone online. Documentation, obviously you're going to need your passport, your license, and if you can get it, no harm to have an international driver's license as well. I was going to bring my big tripod and my Gorilla Pod. I ended up bringing just the Gorilla Pod. I changed the head on it as well. I got the Gorilla Zoom. The reason I changed the head on it was I didn't like it. It was not very functional. Very good like build, but not very functional, so I ended up changing the head on it with the head of the tripod head, which made it a bit taller, which is what I wanted, and was a lot more functional as well. If I was to start from scratch with all this photography stuff though, I would bring the a6000. The Sony a6000 is a great camera, but I probably would have brought just the 16 to 70mm lens. If you've got any questions for me at all, just fire us a question. I'm sure there's lots of stuff I've probably forgotten here, but this was just a very quick video to just give you some information on things that I brought and what I found useful on this trip. So yeah, enjoy your trip if you're going. It's definitely worth seeing. Iceland is an amazing place. Alright. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Thank you. So guys, don't forget motorcycle gloves, spare motorcycle gloves, even though I didn't personally need them. Neck warmer, definitely. And also some regular gloves as well. Now, I would recommend these ones. These are woolen, and of course, they are fingerless, so you can use your camera as well while you have them on.